معكم أنا هادي وبرنامج يلا اشتقتولي وأنا كمان يلا. شخصيتنا الملهمة لحلقة اليوم هي الكوميديان الأميركي اللي فعلا مضحك وموهوب كتير واسمه طهران. ايه هو اسمه طهران، هيك أبوه سماه لما ولد. وبدي اياكم تتعرفوا عليه أكتر. خلونا نتابع هذا الكليب من أحد عروضه الفكاهية وبعدها بنرجع لكم. يلا.
Y'all put your hands together right now for my boy Tahran.
My name's Tehran, it's the capital of Iran. I've always wondered if there is a kid in Iran named Washington, D.C.
Tahran, it's wonderful to have you on the Yalla Show.
Thank you for having me. Yalla, yalla.
I want to give a little bit about your background to our audience. You are from a mixed background.
Sure, half Muslim, half Jewish, half Iranian, half black. I'm half man, half woman. I'm a lot of halves. I'm a lot of halves.
And your name is Tahran.
And my name is Tehran, which makes it even more mixed.
My dad's Persian, my mom's black, and 30 years ago, my dad and mom had a conversation where they were naming their child. And my dad had to convince my mom and was like, yeah, listen, trust me, in 30 years, everyone will love Tehran.
How was it growing up with the name Tahran in the United States?
Well, it was a lot of fun. I got a lot of attention, especially at the airport. Funny enough, a lot of people think it's a nickname that I chose for myself, like a rap name or a stage name. And I was like, why would I choose this for me? Especially going on between what happens in the United States and what's going on with Iran, politically speaking. But it's something that I've always been extremely proud of. I've been very proud to have Iranian culture, Iranian heritage, and an Iranian ethnicity inside me.
Can you share a little bit more about that in terms of, you understanding the complexities of different situations? Because yes, there is the political aspect, but there are the people. And now we're seeing people protesting for their basic rights, of course, and for women's rights.
What's going on in Iran is that the government is oppressing its people on many different levels. It has nothing to do with actual religion, but everything to do with actual oppression. And so that's what makes it such a relevant story to everyone in the world. Everyone should and deserves basic human rights, women's rights, equality, justice, liberty, and that idea of the pursuit of happiness.
Yes, and respect everybody's identity, everybody's religion, everybody's beliefs, right?
Well, almost everybody. There are some people as
long as they're not, of course, out to harm other people or oppress
harm
other people.
I'm talking about the people who give you parking tickets. We must stop parking ticket people. Parking ticket people are the worst.
This conversation, as you know, and specifically talking about your own mixed, very interestingly mixed background, how do you see this apply to the MENA region?
Well, in Middle East, North Africa, that's actually the perfect example because this is a group of people who is much more alike, even more so than everyone else. They're much more alike in many different ways. I mean, let's be very honest. Between the hummus and salads, we're all the same, Even the word yalla really should mean you all look alike, Because everybody looks the same, they feel the same, we have the same energy, and that energy is actually naturally, it's a positive, fun-loving, kind-hearted, good-spirited energy.
And you having in your own family a Jewish and Muslim background, now we're seeing this happening in the Middle East where the Jewish and Muslim communities are connecting, and we saw a dawn of a new era with the Abraham Accords between Israel and different Arab countries like the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco. I wanted to ask you about your first reaction when you heard about this.
We've had the Abraham Accords in my family for almost 35 years. Honestly, it's one of the most beautiful things to see my families come together and enjoy one another. And it's over things as simple as food and music. This is going to be the beginning of a beautiful harmony between peoples that should have never been separated.
That's so beautiful. You mentioned food and music. What about comedy? Could comedy bring people together?
Of course it brings people together. That's what comedy is all about. When you look at the world close up, it's a tragedy. But when you look at it from far away, that's how it becomes comedy. When you look at it from outside of the box, And the truth is, boxes are meant for things and not people. We don't just put people in the box and say, this is what you are and this is what you are. We're all unique individuals, and comedy is a reminder of that.
I wanted to go back a little bit more into your childhood. Let's start with you telling me about the moment you realized that you wanted to be a comedian.
Well, the funniest people I know are my mom and dad. And even though they don't know they're funny, growing up, I realized how funny they are. They make me laugh all the time just by being themselves, by doing the natural things that they do, the way they interact and talk.
Persian parents don't hit. Persian parents do something even worse. When you do something bad, they might threaten you with stuff like a flip-flop. It's never actually gonna hurt. But what they do that's worse than hitting is when you do something wrong, they sit there and talk to you. Forever. It never stops.
I didn't know that I wanted to be a comedian growing up. I always wanted to make an impact and reach the world, but I didn't know how. And it wasn't until I was finishing law school that I realized that the people who had the most impact on me happened to be comedians. Because good comedy makes you laugh, but great comedy makes you think. And with comedy, it's the spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down. It's a bit of sugar as I speak my truth. And that truth resonates with everybody.
I wanted to ask you about, in your family, who was the most supportive person in your life?
Well, this is you starting an argument in my family. It's asking me like, which one of your parents is the better driver or the better cook? They were both amazing. They were both amazing. And honestly, I have a very supportive family who believes in each one of us, of my brothers and sisters. So my mom and dad were always extremely supportive, but in their own way. With my mom is Black. It comes from an American background, but also a Middle Eastern Jewish background. So with my mother, her way of loving me was to sometimes be too supportive. She would get mad. She'd be like, why didn't Kevin Hart put you in this movie? It's like, Mom, that's not how it works. He needs to put you in it. I'm going to talk to him. Mom, you don't even know Kevin Hart. I'll meet him and talk to him. My father's Iranian, so his idea of support was, Tehran, you're very funny. You should be the funniest comedian doctor in the world. You should be a comedian doctor. If you become a doctor and all your patients, they'll laugh. They'll laugh.
So you have to be a doctor, basically. You cannot be
a doctor, but
a funny one, a funny doctor.
Yeah, a funny doctor.
Anyone who has immigrant parents knows that there's never a normal story, right? Never a normal story. My story goes way beyond. Because look, on my dad's side, their family, not only just Persian, but Muslim and Zoroastrian. On my mom's side, Baptist and Jewish. I had a bar mitzvah. Needless to say, I'm lucky to be alive. Like, real talk, I'm just lucky to be alive. I was circumcised 14 times, I'm not gonna lie. And whenever you ask them about the story of how they came to America, it's never anything just normal. It's never anything like, oh, well, I got on a plane, just had to come here for a better life. No, it's always a story. My dad will just straight lie. I was in Iran and the revolution happening. I was a general and then I had to leave. And I'm walking all the way to America. I'm walking here. I had two $1 bills in my pocket. That's it, two $1 bills. Actually, I gave Bobak $1. He never paid me back. And then I'm coming here and I'm carrying you in my stomach for 9 months. And I'm asking you to do two little things, clean your room and become doctor. You did nothing to me. You did nothing. Bro, I'm 7,
Have you been in the Middle East?
I've been in the Middle East many times. I've been in
Where?
North Africa many times. I've been from Lebanon to Egypt. I've been to UAE. I've been to Saudi Arabia. I've been to Israel and Palestine on several occasions, performing comedy all over the world.
What is your impression of the MENA region?
Honestly, if I said it in one word, it would be home. There's a home to it that even if you're not Middle Eastern, it feels like home because there's so much heart there. There's so much love there. There's so many kind people. They're so kind, they won't let you go. You're like, hey, I need to know, eat. It's like, please, I'm calling the authority.
Yeah, too much food.
Exactly. Eat. no, you have to eat, you have to stay, you have to. And so that's the kind of feel that I get when I'm in the Middle East. You have to know all of the rules and regulations when you go to the Middle East. You have to know how it works. You have to know the culture. You have to know how to say hello. You have to know if you want to leave. If you want to leave at 9, you need to start saying goodbye at 6. That 3-hour process of saying goodbye, and then you can leave at 9.
Yeah.
But if you try to leave at 9 and say goodbye at 8:55, you're there till tomorrow.
I wanted to ask you if you can share with me one story that happened to you in the Middle East that kind of stayed with you.
Well, there are many stories that I have in the Middle East. Going to Tel Aviv and then going to Ramallah in the same night and eating shawarma in both places and remembering thinking that there will never be a better shawarma than this will always stay with me in my heart. Going to the Burj Khalifa in Dubai and being at the top and looking down at your entire planet, that will stay with me in my life. Going to Saudi Arabia and also going to Makkah and seeing the people pray in unison and the power of positivity, that will stay with me in my life. Going to the Wailing Wall and touching the wall and being places where everybody says God has walked will always stay with me in my life. Going to Egypt and looking at the pyramids and seeing the glory of the past met with the future because there's like a Pizza Hut right there. That will always stay with me in my life. And the number one thing that stays with me in my life about the Middle East is seeing the look of hope and love in the eyes of everybody I met. The kindness, the generosity, the good hearts, and the good people that I met along the way. That will stay with me for the rest of my life.
And now we reach our speed round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yalla. Who is your celebrity crush?
Rihanna,
Rihanna.
Oprah, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos.
Elon Musk.
First of all, Rihanna's gorgeous, and then everybody else who can pay me. I love them, okay? If you're a billionaire, I'm in love with you.
Something that you haven't shared in public before.
You think I would share it right now? You think I would share
Yes.
it right now? Okay, you want to know something?
Okay.
As Iranian, as I always respect and love Iranian culture and Iranian heritage and Iranian everything, there are some Iranian foods that I just don't like. There's this food called fesnjun, and I hate it. I don't even know what it's made of. Even if I go to a house and they're serving it, I have to act, and I'm hungry, I'm starving. I have to pretend that I've eaten food so that I don't eat any because I really don't like fesjun. So sorry, everybody who I've gone to your house, just know, I've been to your house and you had fesjun. I was actually hungry. I lied. I'm
Please
so
do
sorry.
not make it. Yes, please do not make
Exactly.
it for Tahran in the future.
Exactly.
The person you're grateful towards the most in your life, and I know now that there's a competition between your mom and dad.
My mom and dad are the same person. So my mom and dad are like one human being, okay?
Okay.
They're always there and they're always around and they're even in my head all the time. Like even when I'm doing something, I can hear their voices in my head. They have pushed it in my head.
Yes.
But if I have to say one person who I love the most and I'm grateful for, honestly, and this is going to sound, it's all of you, all the people who have ever supported me and my career throughout the years. Thank you so much. All the people who support the protests in Iran and the people of Iran, thank you so much. That's who I'm grateful for every single day because I see a lot of evil people on the planet and they never take a day off. So all the good people, we can't take a day off either.
What's your message today for your Jewish and Muslim family and all the people from different backgrounds in the MENA region?
My only message is this, and it's so interesting. So many people always ask me, what religion am I? Because of Muslim and Zoroastrian and Christian and Judaism backgrounds in my family. They ask me, what religion are you, Tehran? And it's so few people ever ask me the question, are you a good person? And that's my only message is be a good person.
Can you share with our young audience one advice that you believe if they follow, it will change their lives for the better?
The luckiest people on the planet are always the people who work the hardest. Work hard and you will be lucky.
So beautiful. Thank you so much, Tahran. That was such an awesome conversation. I'm so happy that we got to do the interview after talking for a while, and that the fact that you are going to the MENA region for the Comedy for Peace.
Thank you so much, Javi. I love being in that region. And hopefully, if everything keeps going the way it is, then one day Tehran will go back to Tehran and do comedy there. And that will be my biggest show of all time.
Amen. Thank you so much, Tahran. And like we do with all of our guests, is that we always say yalla. 1, 2, 3. Yalla!
My name's Tehran. That's been my time. Thank you so much.